What kind of a person we become is determined not by what we receive from the world, but by the response we receive to what we receive from the world. One of the psychological studies of how people misestimate their own abilities is the Dunning-Kruger effect. The cognitive bias in which people overestimate their knowledge or abilities in a specific area is called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
There is a strong tendency to overestimate one's knowledge or abilities in a specific field compared to objective evaluation. It is one of the cognitive biases that causes wrong judgments due to illogical reasoning. A person without ability makes wrong judgments and reaches wrong conclusions. But because he or she lacks ability, he or she is unable to recognize his or her mistakes. As a result, incompetent people evaluate their abilities as higher than average. Higher than they actually are, out of a sense of illusory superiority. On the other hand, capable people underestimate their own abilities and develop an illusory sense of inferiority. The mistakes of people without ability stem from misunderstandings about themselves, while the mistakes of people with ability stem from misunderstandings about others. They attribute their success to luck rather than hard work and are reluctant to reveal their skills. Even though they have achieved high achievements, they dismiss them as overestimated and at the same time underestimate themselves. This type of psychology is manifested by paying too much attention to the opinions of others. Most people doubt themselves. This is true even for people who are evaluated as having outstanding capabilities within the organization. It's normal, but there are people whose level of suspicion is excessive. They worry, what if they find out I'm not as smart as I look? When I take on an important project, I sometimes doubt myself, thinking, can I really do this well? This is one of the symptoms of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a term also known as imposter syndrome. They believe that they are not as good as others think and that their achievements are due to luck rather than hard work. Therefore, it refers to the feeling of anxiety in which one believes that he or she is living by deceiving those around him or her. They feel anxious, seeing themselves as some kind of fraudster deceiving the world. Imposter syndrome is a psychological symptom that causes anxiety over the possibility that one may eventually be treated as a fraud. If the syndrome is severe, self-esteem drops and people are unable to take on new challenges even when given opportunities. Because I lost courage. According to a paper published in 1999 by David Dunning and Justin-Kruger, two psychologists at Cornell University in the United States, the results of testing undergraduate students on logical thinking, grammar, and sense of humor showed that the participants in the bottom 25% were in general. It was found that they evaluated their own skills much higher than average. Researchers believed that the Dunning-Kruger effect occurred due to a lack of metacognitive ability. Metacognition refers to the ability to judge one's own thoughts. This refers to the ability to distinguish between what you know and what you do not know. People lacking metacognition overestimate their own abilities, fail to recognize the abilities of others, and fail to recognize problems caused by their own lack of abilities. It can also be caused by overconfidence caused by small knowledge. Vague knowledge is likely to lead people to mistakenly believe they know everything. When you gain a small amount of knowledge in a field you were ignorant of, you suddenly feel like you have become an expert. The deeper you study, the more you realize how broad the field is and how much skill is required. The best example is the saying that people who have read only one book are the most scared. The easiest way to recognize a person with the Dunning-Kruger effect is that if he or she is overly confident and arrogant in everything he or she does, and is not even a cheap person, he or she is definitely affected by the Dunning-Kruger effect.